Ready. Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, the final episode of a podcast about video games and goodbyes. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the co-host of Ready Set Gamecast, Darian.
Me, I'm Darian.
Teddy.
I was once a co-host and now will be one more time.
And Matt.
Goodbye.
Show ends.
Oh, and Matt's done.
Credits roll.
Are you ready to do this one last time?
Woo!
No.
I think the next episode will be our best one yet.
Okay, then.
That's brutal. Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
you,
rough.
Matt.
Best one yet, not like the best one we've ever done. It always gets better.
And the next one is non-existent. So, hey, we topped it by stopping.
Maybe there's
Fuck
a
you, Matt.
reunion special or something. I don't know.
20 years.
5 years from now, we just randomly post a new episode of Ready Set Gamecast.
I
Wouldn't that
honestly
be
was
wild?
thinking, like, once I'm, like, at a better space, we could do, like, just the yearly Game of the Year episode.
Just recap. Quick news for the year.
just read every headline that you want.
Yeah.
One
I like the
long
sound of that.
4-hour podcast for the year. I would actually
I
be down with
actually
that.
think that would be super
That's
cool.
actually a
Right,
good
like
idea.
in January.
Here's
and
what you
then
missed
just, like,
last year. Did you just wake up from a coma? Well, do I have the podcast for you?
Here's your year's worth of video game news.
You totally checked out in 2020.
I don't blame ya.
Here's some shit. Here's the games that came out. There was a pandemic, but that's not related.
Yeah, here's some news. Sorry. Ooh.
At least it wasn't the zombie apocalypse.
Close enough.
This is the final episode, but it is still a normal episode. So we start as we always do with what you've been playing, and we're gonna start with Teddy Chinaris.
God. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on this show.
What have you been playing for the last 6 months?
I do just want to say Immortals Phoenix Rising, Game of the Year 2020, 2021, 2022, every year. Game of the Year, let's go.
Wow.
I love that game. There's nothing. I haven't gotten around to playing Miles, which is a bummer. And I literally saw
a good one.
Like today I remembered, oh yeah, my lock screen is still Miles. And I was like, oh shit, that's fucked. I never even played it. But the last week, it finally happened. I have fallen down the Final Fantasy 14 rabbit hole, and there's no coming out. I'm just stuck down there forever. It's a problem, but it's great, and I love it. And I'm fishing rank 51, I think. My warrior is 53. I literally started like maybe a week and a half ago, and I'm level 53. So it's a good time. It's a very good MMO. It's like, I don't want to say a ton about that game because everyone has been talking about that game and how good it is for years. Like we know, I'm just finally experiencing it myself.
Honestly, like I also am jumped in on the Final Fantasy 14. It was a similar
And you've
deal.
gotten further than I thought you would. I thought you'd bounce off in like 2 days.
No, I mean, I'm happy that it's a game that playing solo doesn't feel like I'm completely missing out on stuff. Like Destiny and stuff, there is so much stuff that it's like, oh, if you don't have people to play with, then you're really missing out on what makes, this game special.
That's true.
And
14 is that way too, especially when when you're going to get to the end, like there's going to be a lot of awesome content that you do want to have a group for. But like right now at the beginning, there's still a lot to do.
But even dungeons and stuff, like they will send you through several dungeons fairly early on, but they have tools that just be like, here's some people to do a dungeon with and stuff. And they have matchmaking for for those group things. So sure, it's gonna be better if you have people to play with, but you can very much play with the people assigned to you.
Yeah, and even when you get to the end, like, you know, they're like Destiny raids is the big thing that you definitely want to have a group for, and quests and stuff, but like raids is the big one. When you get to the end game of 14, there's still like duty finders. Well, I actually don't know. I don't know if there are duty finders for the raids. I think there is. But even if there's not, there's a way to like LFG in the game. There's like a party finder where you can like list yourself and people can like browse through that and join. So there are still functions to like do that content in the game. So it's definitely a lot more catering towards that.
Yeah, and it's not just combat, which I think also makes it great for people to kind of jump in. Like there's so many. It almost has RuneScape vibes, because I remember playing RuneScape and like spending a lot of time in the cooking guild and stuff, like not messing around with killing a million skeletons and doing that. Like I liked mining and cooking and stuff, and there are many jobs, classes for things like mining and cooking and all those kind of like crafty, goofier, relaxing type stuff that you don't have to spend the entire game running around killing, dragons and stuff all the time.
Yeah. So that is one thing in general that I love about MMOs, is that you can go around, do the quests, do dungeons, do combat and whatnot, but there is usually a lot of other stuff that you can just kind of break up the pacing with and go and do crafting or fishing and stuff along those lines. But in this game, like the crafting and the fishing and all that, it's really good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's not just World of Warcraft, which is for the most part fishing. You toss the thing out, you click your bobber. Like that's mostly it. Whereas fishing in this game, you get new abilities. It's a whole class where when you switch over to that, you switch over to a fishing class. And I really like that there is a lot of depth to the crafting and stuff, but it's not Black Desert Online depth. Like it's in between Black Desert Online of insanely complicated and World of Warcraft where it's just very basic. It is like just enough to kind of keep you engaged. Really
yeah. It is interesting that like the crafting type things are separate classes, where like I am going from being the bulky guardian guy to like I'm the fishy guy now, and I can't if a guy comes up to me, I can't stab him until I've like switched my class back.
You're the fishy guy.
So it is interesting that it's not just like a throw out your fishing rod. Now it is a thing of like literally switch your class, but that also speaks to the fact of like how versatile playing a character in Final Fantasy 14 is. That literally when you create a character in most MMOs, you're like, I am a paladin.
Oh my god, yeah.
I am this. You can be every single thing in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, like in WoW, you would need to make alts, but in this, you can just switch.
Yeah. You don't have to
It's
go
great.
through the characters 17 times. You can be like, this is my guy, and do you need a healer? I'll switch to my healer. Do you need to do this? I'll switch to my other guy. And it's not switching characters, it's just switching outfits. It is.
Yeah, and you can put it all on a hotbar too, and just click it, and it'll
Yeah.
switch your gear set over to that.
Yeah, which is nice, because like things like unlocking mounts and all of those things that you would do through the story, you don't have to go through again as a new character.
Yep.
Like you'll have to progress that class through their things. You have to level that class, but your character will have everything that like is part of them.
Oh man, that's such a good point, because like even in Destiny, where it's just a Titan warrior or Titan warlock and hunter, like switching over to your warlock, there's so much shit that if you do run all three characters, that's still on your screen of like, here are all these quests that you need to do. But you're like, I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing the shit that benefits me. Like, I'll go over there to do raids, and I'll go over there to do like certain exotic quests. But like, there's still so many quests on your screen that sometimes you even have to do like intro stuff to like unlock it. And it's just, you don't have to do that. You just have all the stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing for me, honestly. That's like the best feature.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is very versatile, very relaxing. Like it has a lot of chill vibes to it. The world seems interesting. The world is also like colorful and stuff. There are many MMOs where it's like, the place is effed up. You're a hero because this place sucks. It's like Gridania is full of like blooming flowers and like a real chill place. The crystals are glowing all over the place. Like it is a nice place to look at.
It's a much prettier game than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because I had tried it before on PS4, but now playing it on PC like with 60 frames and on like I have it on Ultra and it's a pretty steady 60 and my computer's not even like super new. And it's so pretty. Like I keep at certain points I'll go into a new zone and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this so detailed? Like there's a lot of detail too. It's really nice.
It's also interesting the like dynamic of Final Fantasy 14 where it's like, oh yeah, you are a very fantasy dude, you got magic and stuff, and then over here it's like they got flying cars, they got some like mechanical stuff. It's like it's everything.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like when I first played it, one of my big complaints was the world because it seemed so fucking weird and like incredibly generic, but also like everything all at once that it didn't really seem like it had an identity of its own. But now after like giving it some time, it definitely does. It's just kind of odd.
Yeah.
But it definitely does have its own identity.
Yeah, I mean I think that's been a thing in Final Fantasy games in general, but like usually a Final Fantasy game will be like, okay, we're more in the like old-timey fantasy stuff. Like Final Fantasy 15, they're driving around in the car the entire time. It's more modern. Whereas Final Fantasy 14, because it's an MMO, they're doing everything. It's a little bit of everything. They got the mechanical stuff.
Even just from the classes, you have a gladiator, which is like which then turns into a paladin, which is just a sword and shield paladin. Yeah. And then you can also have a like gunbreaker. Yeah. It's like guns, machines. There's a machinist that's also like guns and stuff.
Yeah, I ran by somebody who I saw shooting guns, and I was like, I want that. That seems cool. But I think that's like a prestige class that you have to get later.
Yeah, gunbreaker and machinist unlock later. I'm pretty sure. I've been going over this a bunch because basically whenever there is a new job that's available, I've been like going and grabbing the starting thing just so I like have it. And then I can do that later. So there's so many. There's a lot too. There's a lot of classes and there's like 2 new ones coming in the fall. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of mechanics in Final Fantasy 14, but they like unlock them in real cool ways. They don't like be like, here's everything. Oh, you want to do a glamour that's there, da da da. You have to go like talk to somebody who will unlock like they'll do a quest line that'll unlock that feature for you. Like
there are 10 jobs at the beginning that you can unlock. And then there is 3.
Is that including the crafting jobs?
No, this is just combat.
Okay.
Just the combat jobs. So there's 10 combat ones at the beginning, and then there's 3 that you can unlock at level 50. And then there are 3 more that you can also unlock at level 50 after you beat like the main story. And then there's 2 at 60 for the last expansion, and then next expansion there will be 2 more. Like there's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're all really cool. They're all like there's a samurai, like there's a blade dancer which has like those chakra things, those like circular like blade things. Is dope.
Yeah.
Chakram?
Sure.
Right, like Axel from Kingdom Hearts weapons.
Yes, actually that. Yeah. Chakram. Yeah, you nailed it.
And yeah,
thanks, Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Final Fantasy is right part of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
I wonder if there's Kingdom Hearts stuff in Final Fantasy.
Is
14.
there?
I don't know. That's what I wonder. I'm looking it up.
I mean, there's obviously the Final Fantasy
Did
stuff.
Did you see how excited he got? Is there? Bryce is like, yes, please.
I very much doubt it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
I doubt that.
Maybe one day.
Like, obviously, the Final Fantasy stuff, like Moogles are in both, but like, I don't think Keyblades are in.
Donald Duck's not coming in there anytime soon.
Goofy's like sending
Well,
you
that's
out
the
on
thing.
quests.
It would just be the Kingdom Hearts OCs, like Sora, Kairi,
Yeah.
Riku.
It'd be cool if like there was Heartless.
I mean, the thing is, they've done weird crossovers before. Like apparently like the director of Nier Automata came over and directed like a Nier raid. Like there's just a raid in the game that's like Nier Automata, which is very weird to me and I don't understand, but that's a thing. So like they've done crossover stuff before, so it wouldn't be super surprising.
Wow.
Just make like a world that never was raid or some shit. That would be so cool.
Yeah, Darian, when are you gonna jump back into Final Fantasy 14?
Back?
She created a character.
Oh,
I made a big deal about, I'm going to start playing Final Fantasy 14.
Well,
and
now's
then
the time.
it just didn't happen.
You should join Brynhilda with us. Erin's playing, Teddy's playing.
I'll send you the server name.
Yeah.
No,
Because it's spelled
supposed to play with another one of my friends, but I just...
Are you playing with them? Because you could play with a... We're playing every day. We're
Bryce.
out there. We're out there.
Trust me, though, as somebody who was told to play that game for years, I get it. Like, it's okay. Just jump in when you're ready, you know? But once you do, just know that it's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Know that your life is over.
Thanks for the assuring words there.
In the best
really...
way, you know?
You gotta get through all this stuff so that you can jump in with Endwalker in the fall.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna be ready for that.
I don't know what that is.
Endwalker's the new update coming in the
It's the
fall.
expansion.
Yeah, the new expansion.
It
Sounds
has 2 new
intimidating.
classes. One is a sage, which is a healer, and then another is apparently a melee DPS, but they haven't revealed them yet. But they are a new class.
Yeah. I managed to get my girlfriend playing too, and she's honestly like very particular on the game she plays. So I very much thought like, okay, she'll start it and then she'll like refuse to play after like a day, but she's still been playing and we've been running around doing stuff today. She joined as a healer, so because I'm playing a gladiator, which is a tank. So now I've got like
you guys will have instant queues anytime you go into a dungeon.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah,
Because if you're playing a DPS and you try to go into a dungeon, you'd be waiting like 30 minutes. But with a tank and a healer, just you go in.
yeah.
That'll be awesome.
So yeah, it'll be nice to have a healer with my tank, though. It does basically because she's just started and I'm like level 28. She's like, oh, okay, I need to go over here. And she's like, oh, there's these monsters in the way, and I just like go through and kill them all. And she's like, da 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 da. But then
walk through their dead bodies.
But then sometimes she'll have to go through an instance, and they'll be like, you can only do this on your own. And I'm like, good luck. I'll be out here waiting for you.
Have fun.
Yeah. Has Erin ever played an MMO?
No, I do not think so.
I am very excited for y'all to do dungeons. Have you before, Bryce? Like WoW or ESO?
I
probably dabbled.
I'm trying to think if there's
pinky toe in to the pool.
I played a little bit of KOTOR, not like very much. I've never gotten into an MMO. I played RuneScape, like I said.
Well, that's really exciting. I genuinely, if y'all get into like whenever you have your first dungeon unlocked, let me know. I will join with y'all.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I have a DPS. I think that I
Yeah.
can hop in because they're very unique.
I've done a couple dungeons by queuing with randos, but yeah, she hasn't gotten to hers.
Do you know
yet.
like how to actually like be a tank?
Yeah, I figured out there's the like make the enemies mad at me button.
Yeah,
and
you
then
gotta turn that on, and then you basically just try and like if somebody's running away and going to attack somebody else, you have to be like, no.
Yeah, I've got my spin move, which is like, look at me, stop going after all of you, look at me.
Yeah, healing in an MMO and whatnot is also super unique. Like both of you going in and it's kind of your first MMO. One of you is tanking, one of you is healing. That's fucking fascinating. Because I spent years playing MMOs just doing DPS because I was too afraid to do anything else.
It was definitely interesting going into a dungeon for the first time as a tank, because like as the tank, I'm basically need to lead the charge.
Yeah.
But I also was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
So there was a guy in chat going like, okay, so you need to turn on this ability and stuff.
Oh, well, that's nice. Did they help you and were they all sweet?
And at one point he went AFK and I didn't notice it. I kept like moving forward because I'm the tank, and like the rest of them noticed that he went AFK. So I ended up like aggroing a group of 3 and got killed because they were like hanging back, and I was like, where? Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm hopeful I'll stick with it. I'm enjoying it so far. I think if I get to a point where like doing this seems tiring, I can just like try a different class. I can try something else.
But like also kind of just expect that you will get to a point where it at least doesn't feel tiring, but feels like get me there, like a little like, oh, there's so much. You know what I mean? Like you'll definitely get there.
Yeah, there's the like
you just gotta
base story, like especially because we've been told of like once you get past the Realm Reborn, the base story, that's where stuff gets good.
That's where it gets great.
And so it's like, okay, well, can I just get there then? No, I have to go through this bullshit.
And there's just a lot of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
I'm level 53, and I think the main scenario quest, like the main story quest that I'm on, is like 33. So like I've way past that, and I keep having. There's a lot of talking to people.
Yeah. Erin, do you know what data server you're on? Is it Crystal?
Yep.
Oh well, then you can
Crystal and Mateus is the world that I'm on, I think.
As long as you're on the same data server, you can like move over to play with us if you wanted to like play with us a little bit. If you want to hang out.
Yeah, do
I
it.
would absolutely love to play this game with you guys. I think I need to break this mental barrier with Final Fantasy 14 and just do it on my own for a little while first. Because the pressure that is on is everybody was like, ooh, come play with me. And I'm like, I don't want to disappoint anyone, so I'm not playing.
What class did you go with?
I don't remember.
Honestly, like the best thing for me so far is just to hit like I set aside a day and just ended up playing for like 6-8 hours, and then once like I was past a good bit, I was like, oh fuck. Like now it's over. But like genuinely for the first 4 hours, it is going to be boring. Like you're going to just be running around talking to people and then being like, okay, can I fight a thing? Like just just put me in the world, let me fight a thing. But like once you start slowly unlocking more and more shit, then you're like, oh, okay. Oh, damn.
I think a key to it is be okay just kind of skimming the dialogue. They're going to say a lot of stuff that you don't need to know right now.
All right.
Like I cannot tell you how many times they're like, the Warriors of Light, we don't know what they look like, but they're cool as shit. Like
what?
Apparently like there were heroes that like saved the world, but people can't remember what they look like. They just know they existed. So they like
oh wait, that can't just be an immediate Kingdom Hearts tie-in, because that sounds like an immediate Kingdom Hearts tie-in, and I'm really sad.
Somebody said Warriors of Light, and Erin was like Sora and Donald, and I'm like, or these guys too. I mean, it's Final Fantasy. I'm sure it's come up like 20 million times. Okay, well, I guess since we're on Final Fantasy, I'm gonna do my what you've been playing. Final Fantasy 14. I jumped in. The new update was like, oh, that sounds interesting, and then everybody was talking about it. I was like, fuck it, let me try it out. And yeah, I've been having fun with it. My girlfriend ended up trying it. We've been having fun. So she's still very early on. I think she hit 15. I feel like a lot of things unlock at 10. If you can get to 10, I feel like that, like, you're going to know for sure if you like it or not by 10.
Yeah, 10 is a good one where a lot of stuff starts unlocking. And then you do have kind of barriers, like, at a certain point. Like, the biggest one to kind of freedom is where you get to the point in the MSQ where you can get a mount. Then, like, you have been to multiple of the cities.
Oh, yeah.
You've kind of, like, seen and unlocked a ton of stuff. And then you have your mount and you're like, I'm free.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Grand
Company around on a chocobo.
You get your chocobo after you picked your Grand Company. I think that also is cool because, like, that's like a big decision they give you, which is also a decision you can change. But it is cool of, like, having all the different cities go like, we want you, and being able to make a big decision that's gonna, like, affect game, like, stuff going forward. Teddy, you need to come back to the sea people. We miss you.
Honestly, I wish I had chosen that area because I like that area a lot more.
Can't you switch?
I overthought it. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. If you can, then I should.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure when they, like, explained it to me, they were like, it's not permanent, but you know, it's decision
I think it
matters.
says, like, your progress would reset. I do remember that.
Something, I don't know.
Also, there's ocean fishing, guys. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, I did ocean.
Apparently, there is a boat that goes out on the water every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you go out and you do ocean fishing. It's really cool.
I did ocean fishing, like, really early. I was just following the fishing quests and went on it. And it was, a lot of shit happened. There was some cool effects and stuff. I didn't really understand what was happening. I just kept throwing my fishing rod out and catching fish. I was like,
That's
okay.
all you need in life, baby. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There was some crazy stuff and I was just there fishing. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. It's a game. Coming soon, Final Fantasy 14 podcast. I got Super Mario 3D World, which released along with Bowser's Fury. But I haven't played Bowser's Fury yet. I am experiencing 3D World for the first time. And that game is dope. Honestly,
It's a very good game.
If you've played the Sackboy's Adventure, it honestly feels like Sackboy's Adventure was just straight stealing from Super Mario 3D World. That game is very similar. But 3D World does a lot of, like, really interesting stuff. Like, there is a point where you are, like, playing as shadows on the wall, and, like, they mix up the gameplay in a lot of cool ways. I'm excited to see more, but it's probably one of the best Mario games I've played in a long time. I'm definitely excited to check out Bowser's Fury. My girlfriend's mom and aunt came over to deliver a TV to us, which I'll be talking about in a second. But we ended up playing Knowledge is Power, which is a PS4 PlayLink game back when they were pushing PlayLink. And honestly, it is still one of my favorite trivia games. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but it is one of my favorite trivia games. You have to download the Knowledge is Power app. So it's, like, different from Jackbox where you could just, like, play it in a browser. But the app is integral because along with the, you know, just, like, picking from the 4 answers, you can make it harder for other players by for each question you get to pick a opponent and a, like, thing to get in the way of them being able to answer. So there's, like, slime, where they'll have to wipe slime away so they can see what the answers are. There's ice, so they'll have to, like, tap several times to break the ice to be able to get to the answer. And there's bombs, where if you accidentally tap one of the bombs, your screen, like, goes white for a second, and then but so you gotta avoid them when trying to tap. Bombs plus slime is a fucking fatal combo because you're trying to wipe away the slimes and you keep hitting the bombs. It is bad. So you've got that, which is really great for somebody, like, oh, somebody might know these questions, but if they're really ahead, then everybody's going to be throwing their stuff at that person, making it more challenging. Along with the straight up questions, they'll have 2, like, special rounds where there'll be a game where you have to match things. Like there was like Disney like stars and their villains, so you'd have to like match the Little Mermaid and Ursula and you know that kind of stuff. And then the second special game, there is a slight swipe left and right, where there was one where it's like NASCAR or golf, and they'd give you names, and you have to swipe like left if it's a NASCAR person or right if it's a golf person. So they have like some dynamic stuff. But
I've never gotten any of those right.
Yeah, I was just straight guessing. Like Dale Earnhardt, I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was about it. Erin slid every single one of them to golf, and I mean purposely trying to figure out which one's which. I got one more than her.
Nice.
But yeah, Knowledge is Power is great. If you have a PS4, I very much recommend checking it out. It is a very good party game that anybody can sit down and play and have a great time with. And there's a bunch of categories, and it's cool. But I got the famous LG CX TV, specifically the 65-inch TV. It is notable because it is a 4K HDR OLED TV that supports 120 frames per second and NVIDIA G-Sync. So it is like the gaming TV. I don't have a computer hooked up to it, so I don't have anything that can push 120 frames per second, but it is able to use the full power of the PS5. So obviously,
Series X's do 120, right? Or 144, I think. Xbox Series X's?
Do they get that high?
Pretty sure. I think they have the capability to. I don't know if there's
a game that does it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that they said that they will. I don't know about PS5 though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If there is, I don't think there's anything that pushes to that
All
limit yet.
PS5 and Xbox Series X games that support 120 FPS. Here's an article. Let's see. So there might actually be some PS5 ones.
Is there anything currently out that does it?
Full list of 120 FPS PS5 games: Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Black Ops Cold War, Destiny 2, Devil May Cry 5, Dirt 5, Fortnite, Monster Boy, and The Cursed Kingdom, and then Neo Collection and Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay, so nothing I play.
Apex, Destiny, Borderlands.
Shooters.
You could try it out. I
Yeah.
mean, Destiny 2, you could just download free to play so you can look at it.
Yeah.
Look at those. frames.
Yeah.
I could.
Is Borderlands 3 the latest one?
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is
I was excited for Borderlands 3 when we saw it at PAX West, but then I got it and I never played it.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be able to at least see those.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the frame rate capabilities, but oh my god, the 4K HDR LED-ness or the OLED. So OLEDs are different from LEDs. LEDs are basically like your entire TV is lit from behind, so they are all equally lit. OLEDs, like each section of it is lit individually. So that way, if something is like dark on screen, they just like turn off the light behind it. The downside of an OLED is it doesn't get as bright. You basically you only want to watch it in like a darker room. In general, I keep my living room pretty dark. But even with the windows open and stuff, it's still pretty good. I'm not running into any issues, but to test it out, I knew that Control had the update for PS5, and I loaded that up, and oh my god, it looks so good. And plus, that is like the perfect game to test out this type of TV, because it has like very dark and very light sections, and just like you'll go from one room to that is super dark into a hallway that is super light, and everything just looks so good. I've played that on my old TV on PS4. I played that on my PC. And this is like the best experience I've had. And obviously the new update does support the PS5's controller abilities with the HD rumble and the adaptive triggers. The adaptive triggers for control is also probably the best ones I've seen, where like on Astro's Playroom, some of the adaptive trigger stuff like was like really hard to push through, to the point like I thought my triggers were like broken. I was like, oh no, what's wrong with my trigger? But like the shooting the gun in control, it's like just slight enough that you feel like you're pushing through. It's not like a straight deal, but you can like feel it, but it's not like too much or too little. It's just like just right. And yeah, if you get this TV, load up Control on PS5. It looks so good. And even games like, we weren't able to connect to Knowledge is Power on the PS5 because it was like the app was looking for a PS4. But loading up Knowledge is Power on the PS5 looked so different from playing it on the PS4 on the same TV, because the PS5 is HDR capable. And like the colors were so much more vibrant and stuff on this TV. Yeah, it feels next gen. Everything feels so good, and yeah, we load up Final Fantasy 14 on there, and it supports the PS4 Pro settings, and was able to up the graphics a little bit. And
yeah, there's not a PS5 version of that, but it is like coming.
Yeah, it's coming, but yeah, this TV is dope. The future.
I'm so jealous. I'm jealous because even if I wanted to buy that TV, I can't, first of all, but also like even if I had the money to buy something like that, I wouldn't want a TV. I want a monitor, and like monitor tech like that is very far away in any sort of affordable thing.
Just get the 55-inch and use that as your monitor.
God, that's so big. Like I went over to my friend's house a while back and saw their TV. And I was like, oh, holy shit, that's a big ass TV. How big? Is that like 70 inches? She's like, no, it's like 45.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I'm used to monitors.
Yeah.
That thing's huge.
Yeah.
I sit a foot away from my screen, so.
Yep.
The TV I upgraded from was a 55-inch, but it was like 10 years or more old. So it's definitely like a big upgrade. That was 1080. So obviously I'm getting the 4K, the HDR, all that, but like I'm sure just like a base, if I bought a 1080 TV right now, it would probably look better than this one, just because like technology has progressed. Yep. Shit's cool now. Darian, what have you been playing?
Shit is so cool. Phasmophobia, as one does. It's great. I love that game. We had an experience where we loaded into a map and the ghost's name was, I don't even remember what the specific name was, but it was two names twice. Right? Like Thomas or something stupid like that. And we were just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. This is dumb. I'm not going to walk around saying, Thomas. Thomas. No thanks. But yeah, Phasmophobia is always super fun. And then I got into a new game. It's called Volcanoids. It's like a survival game where you are a science team that is on an island that every 30 minutes or so, you can change the interval, but a volcano erupts on the island, and you have to gather resources and upgrade your drill so that when the volcano erupts, you can burrow underground and not die to the lava, and then figure out what's going on with this weird island and why the volcano is erupting so often, and like there's robots on the island and where they came from. Like that's the idea of the game. Yeah.
Is it a Dr. Robotnik prequel?
I don't think so.
What does Dr. Robotnik have to do with volcanoes?
Robot.
He has a drill.
He's a there's
drill.
robots. There's a drill. Science.
Sure.
I don't think so.
Does Bill Nye have anything to do with Volcanoids? Like, is he out there?
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson's in it, actually.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Bill Nye would have no idea what to do with a drill.
I disagree. I watched him make bread with science the other day.
Did he use a drill?
No.
Point one
Science.
to Bryce. Checkmate, motherfucker.
I'm just going to scroll through Bill Nye's TikTok history really quick and see.
Looking for a drill.
Yeah.
Volcanoids came out in January of 2019, but it's an early access game, so they've been like adding on to it. I'm just looking at it right now. Has a very positive reviews on Steam.
As a non sequitur, that just reminded me that I saw a news story that a game company got banned from Steam for changing their name to Very Positive.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I was like,
awesome.
oh, that's a little mean.
That's
like
so
that's a
good.
funny way to do that.
Holy shit. Also, speaking of Steam, just throwing this out there, I forgot to mention this for games I've been playing. Deep Rock Galactic is also Game of the Year every year from now on forever. It's amazing.
I don't think Teddy knows how Game of the Year works.
Somehow Immortals and Deep Rock Galactic will be Game of the Year for 2021, even though both of them did not come out this year.
Matt, what you been playing?
I dabbled in Super Meat Boy Forever on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's also on some other things, but I played on the Switch because, sitting on the couch playing in handheld is enjoyable. It's easier, I think, than old Meat Boy. I didn't play a lot of the original Meat Boy, but from fan reactions and stuff that I read, kind of like when looking into stuff around Super Meat Boy Forever, people seemed like really harsh on it because it's an auto runner, and apparently was originally designed as a mobile title. So like the hardcore gamer bros of the platformer world were like, this isn't real Meat Boy. This isn't real hardcore platforming. Blah. But I was like, this game's challenging. Regardless, like it takes away the demand of you to have to press the run. Like you don't have to press right, but you still have to like maneuver successfully.
Yeah,
I think it does a really good job of kind of executing on a one button type game. Basically, when you jump, you can also hit that again for a dash, or you can hold down and hit that for a dive. So like maneuvering all that into wall jumps, into punching through enemies to get another punch, creates like really cool combos throughout it. And the whole game is meant to be sort of replayable. There's 4 main stages or 4 main worlds with 6 to 8 stages in each of those. But all of the stages are procedural with, I think, preset designed rooms. So like every section of a level is like a, designed platforming puzzle. But then you get a seed at the, when you create your file, you get a game seed. So I think like the current speed run was like 15 minutes or something like that for, the optimal seed. But I played 3 hours or something. And after I progressed through, I unlocked, there's the 4 main zones. You unlock 5th final zone. And there's a boss fight at the end of each world. And then I rolled credits. After that, it unlocked a 6th zone, but all of the levels are locked in there right now. So I have to figure out how to unlock them. And I think basically there's like glitch zones throughout the earlier worlds where you can like warp to unlock the, super hard zone. And then each light world, or like the main world's called the light world. There's also a like reverse dark world, and it's just like harder variations of each level. It's super replayable. Like in order to unlock dark worlds, you have to get the time, like the optimal time that they've set for each level. And then you can also S rank by like not dying and getting that time. So there's, tons to do in the game. And it's a pretty neat little game for, I think it's $20. and I think people were really unfair when they were like, this isn't real Meat Boy. It seems like they put a lot of love into that game, and there's cute little cutscenes.
I think that game was delayed forever, for like years and years, and I think part of it was because of that. There was a lot of backlash.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I think you can tell that it was originally like a mobile first design, right? Like,
is it the control scheme on mobile now?
I don't even think it's on mobile. Yeah, but the control scheme is real simple, but like that doesn't mean it's not fun or not challenging. It is basically what it means, you know. Cool. Other than Meat Boy, I got into Valorant in the last week, actually. I haven't even unlocked ranked competitive mode in it yet. You need 10 wins in like the unranked casual play. So I've just been experimenting with, different Valorant champions. I don't know if they're called heroes or champions.
Who knows?
Yeah. Part of what got me in was like, I was kind of itching to get into like Overwatch or something, but I was like, I've played Overwatch, Valorant's free, I might as well, try it out. And I haven't really played like a CSGO or a Rainbow Six style game where you're, doing the bomb planting or defending the bomb planting. So that's been fun because it's a little bit different, and like the shooting is a lot quicker, right? Where a game like Overwatch is more about maybe surviving a fight or, dying at the right time with your team, where Valorant's really about just like, a good headshot will win you the game. So that's been a good time checking that out.
Good luck out there.
Thanks.
It's a rough world. At least the community is an interesting one. Hopefully you find some good people out there.
People have been super nice in
that's good.
The games I've played so far. I think I have 9 of the 10 required wins to get to competitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but people have been. I've been trying to be like really positive in the text chat. Like every round, I've been like, "Oh, nice job," or like "Good job," and like trying to keep my team like from being super toxic.
Good.
Yeah.
You got to be preventative there.
Yeah.
That works. That's good.
I like that. Does Valorant have a mute feature in case people are being toxic?
I think so.
I haven't had to use it, but I think you can.
I just find that those are really important, especially in Riot video games.
Yeah.
Having been a very
you can definitely turn the text chat off, like the all chat.
Oh,
so when the other team's like, "Hey, you fucking suck," like if they're doing
right,
that,
when they're being toxic.
Gotta love it.
That's
you can mute people. At least you could in the beta. If they took that out, that'd be odd.
I don't think they would. That would be silly.
No. Yeah.
The most toxic thing I've had happen was I'm relatively new to like PC shooting setups. I've done a lot of like console gaming in my personal history. So like I was like, oh, it's a good time. I'll start at like the ground level, not knowing anything about the game, so I can learn to like successfully mouse and keyboard in a shooter. And I was like fumbling around trying to get a defuse on a bomb, and someone on my team said like, don't do something, and someone else was like, "Hey, you're bottom frag, shut the fuck up," or something to that guy.
They were like, "No, I got you back." That's great.
Yeah, so that was like the most toxic thing I've seen.
I love that.
But yeah, it's like what Eric said in the chat here. You're there. People are nice when you're good at the game. So,
I've definitely been carried most of mine. I'm just trying to be super positive.
Yeah, that game. It's fun though. It's very well designed. Like all of the heroes and whatnot are all
the abilities are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that like any of the heroes are super memorable in the way like if you think of like an Overwatch or something, it's like
that's true.
It doesn't feel the same to me. But
yeah,
they just haven't breathed the same life into it yet.
Yeah.
Give them time. It'll be better. Riot's really good at world building.
Very interested to see what that Riot MMO is going to look like. Like somebody mentioned that to me.
Boy.
I'm excited about it because I like MMOs, but then somebody mentioned that to me the other day when I was talking about the world in Final Fantasy 14, and they were like, "Oh, was it Bryce?" Yeah. He was like, "What about that League one?" And I was like, "Oh God," because there's so much shit in that fucking world. Like, how does that work? There's like Lux and then like Jinx seem like they're totally different. Like
they have an entire world.
No, I know they do. I'm just saying it seems
Runeterra is a whole ass world.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you've played Legends of Runeterra, right, Teddy?
Oh, dog, don't even. Fucking Game of the Year 2020, along with Immortals and Deep Rock Galactic. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like having played that, I was like, oh, this is how the League world works and looks. And like that gave me a really good understanding of like the different
they have a whole
zones.
world. It's just wild with like, you know, think about Garen compared to like, I was going to say Ezreal, but they're really close. Like what's like a modern day kind of champion? I mean, what's the fucking Lucian? Garen compared to Lucian's really weird to me, but those exist in the same fucking world. But I'm sure they'll make it work. It's just odd.
They're just from different places of the geography.
Well, yeah, but one has like sci-fi pew-pew guns and one has a sword and a shield. It's the same kind of weird thing with Final Fantasy XIV.
That's because Demacia doesn't believe in magic. That's why Lux's character is so complex.
Because they just don't believe. Like,
not only do they not, like, they just don't approve of magic, and they imprison people for doing magic, which is why Silas was such a big deal, because he was a magic man in Demacia that got thrown into jail for being magic, and then they broke him out, and now he's a big, crazy, scary villain man with magic and chains.
So in the MMO, if you do some wizard shit in that game, are you gonna get thrown in MMO jail?
Probably if you do it in Demacia.
There you go.
But not the whole world. Demacia isn't the whole world. It's just a kingdom.
Well, yeah, but obviously if it wasn't the whole world, then you couldn't become a magic person. But you roll up to that place and just cast a spell at a squirrel, and they're like, "Oh, get him! We're going to jail."
Yeah, you're
just
under arrest, sir.
Aggro the entire country.
I'm really curious to see if they'll do that. But I mean, there are definitely restrictions in MMOs based on the area, right? Like, oh yeah, you can't cast magic within the town walls.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, there's deals of no fighting, but not in like a specific zone, but that would be like a big zone, you would think, where you could still fight.
They're not going to do that. They're going to find a way around that. Yeah. They're not going to stop you from fighting in one region because of a thing of lore.
Yeah, they're not using magic.
It'll be okay. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll make it work.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually just really excited to see how they go about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a magic user, you just have to lie in Demacia. You just can't talk about it.
No, that was the wind that killed that guy. It's real bad today.
Yeah.
We saw a magic missile. No, man, that was lights.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
You're seeing something.
So you're banging on the window. Wasn't me. Well, this brings us to the news. Quick news we have for you. E3 2021 will be an online-only event. This doesn't surprise me, and also it seems like it's not going to be tied into the Jeff Keighley stuff like they did last year, which, my God, at some point they just have to say, E3, we're turning off the lights. Without the physical thing, it's like, why they don't need you to show a Nintendo Direct. They can just do the Nintendo Direct. You don't have to say E3 is happening.
Is this the same thing I saw swirling a couple of weeks ago? Is about the buy-in price for companies and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was
that. Yeah.
Why don't they just put out a YouTube video?
That was still a rumor. That was not an official announcement from the ESA saying that the buyout price will be this. But yeah, if it is, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's just you just know early June release a YouTube video and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I would very much believe it because the ESA has shown that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart will be launching June 11th on PlayStation 5.
Another game that I would love to play but probably won't because money. But very sad for that game.
I am a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, and I am very stoked. I also love that this game will establish the Ratchet and Clank multiverse. It's their WandaVision.
I love that.
Is that the third PS5 game? I just wanted to make a dig at the PS5 real quick.
I like it.
I consider any game that supports adaptive triggers as a PS5 game. That's my bar.
I mean, any game that comes out on PS5.
All right,
Yeah.
so
PS5
any game on Game Pass is
PS5
then a
exclusive game.
Xbox Series X game.
The Kingdom Hearts series is coming to PC via the Epic Game Store, which is crazy to see these games that were obviously PlayStation exclusive and by that element console exclusive now making their way to PC. We're seeing that with Horizon Zero Dawn and other similar games. So Kingdom Hearts making the jump. It's like, whoa. So this will be the first time to play it with the high frame rates and like the power of fancy gaming PC at your.
They're all there, but it's pretty hella expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think you could have gotten the whole series on PS4 for like $30, and they're like, oh no, you got to pay full price for everything on the Epic Game Store.
I mean, it's not entirely full price. Like HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix, that's $50. And that's a good bit of stuff in there. And then there's also like the 2.8 final chapter prologue, which is $60. And then 3 plus Remind is $60. And then Melody of Memory is $60. So there's like there's $3 $60 and one $50 if you want all of them.
Okay.
I got Melody of Memory and tried to play it, and I didn't grab me. My girlfriend, who loves Kingdom Hearts, has not jumped in on it, and
I can't get Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 final chapter prologue. I just can't. Fuck off with that name. And the 2 is in Roman numerals, but the 8 isn't.
that would be too many numerals. It would be
a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of letters.
Square Enix loves their Roman numerals, but at some point someone is like, guys, that's too much. We can't do that.
But look at Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5. The 1.5 is not Roman numerals. The 2 is. But the 5 on the 2.5 isn't. The only thing in there that's Roman numerals is the 2. But the rest are regular numbers. Why? And that's just on the box. On the actual title itself, it's different.
That's in a Roman numeral?
No, on the cover. I'm saying on the art. On the actual title, it's a number. But on like the actual cover here, it's a the 2 eyes. Oh. On this page. Here,
Darian looks sad. For the audio listeners, Darian looked at the camera sad when this information was shared.
It's there.
Last piece of quick news. No Man's Sky is allowing you to tame animals. Which, yeah, No Man's Sky. Every fucking time. Every time they come out with an update, they're like, this is the last one. We're done. We're moving on.
We're going to charge for the next one.
A couple months later, they're like, okay, we lied. Here's another thing.
It's ridiculous.
One day I'll boot it back up.
One day.
My co-host on a show that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to plug or not, but he really likes that. He really likes that.
Is it Teddy and Tyson?
Hold on, why aren't you allowed to plug it?
I don't know. I wasn't sure if that'd be appropriate. It's Tyson and Teddy Talk every Monday. Tyson really likes that game, and he's been like, he like hopped back into it and has played a good bit of that game. But if you want to play something that has some mining, has some exploration,
you can technically mine.
I would say Deep Rock Galactic would be your choice. But
I thought Teddy was gonna say Final Fantasy 14 for a second.
That's true. Final Fantasy 14. You want to mine out there?
This little game called Minecraft.
It's got everything.
I've been thinking about playing Minecraft again lately.
Hold on, have you guys heard about the game Coral Island?
No.
Coral Island.
Coral.
Oh no.
Coral.
I showed David the Llamas with Hats series the first time, 2 weeks ago, and he did not process it very well. He was like, what the hell is this?
It's so good. It's great.
Now we're gonna
also a place. Coral Island.
What's the game about?
Yeah.
Stardew.
It's like a Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, like farm simulator, dating simulator game.
You know where else you can play Stardew Valley? Final Fantasy 14. That's not true, but it will be. Legitimately, next expansion, they announced that there's a mode that's like raising animals and farming and shit. So,
guys, are you gonna come to mine and Erin's wedding in Final Fantasy 14?
yes,
You guys are getting married in Final Fantasy 14?
Maybe.
you should. Be adorable.
When we booted up the game today, I saw a deal saying like, because of soft maintenance, you can't have your wedding on these days. And I was like,
wait, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I was like, I saw a wedding ring in the store, so I was like, oh, okay, you can give this to someone and get married. But apparently, it sounds like they have a whole ceremony process that you can book, and I'm guessing like there's custom cutscenes and stuff for it.
No way.
It seems like it's a whole thing.
It is. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But like, what? There's a trailer for it.
Yeah. I haven't seen a trailer for it, but
what the fuck? There's like a whole chapel that you go in. You put on wedding clothes. What the fuck?
Yeah. So if me and Erin stick with it, maybe we'll get married. So which
for a second I was like, are you talking about the relationship or the game?
in the game.
I thought he meant the relationship
Me too. I thought that at first.
I only took that. I didn't take that as the game at all.
But on that note, Erin, when she was creating her character, was originally gonna make a Lalafell, which is like the ones that look like kids. And I was like, okay, just so you know, if you do make this, I will never marry you in the game. And she's like, okay, I'll make a cat girl.
There you go.
It's like, I'm not gonna kiss a little kid.
I made a dragon person.
Hell yeah, that's exciting. Now, what class did you make?
I don't remember. Let me launch the game.
Yeah, just hop in there. Let us know. Maybe hop in, do a couple quests.
Yeah, do some fishing. Like
pop over Brynhilda. Yeah. You know, just
there you go.
Just whatever you want to do.
That's all.
Well, this brings us to the slow news. We have a trailer for the Mortal Kombat movie. You guys seen it?
I did not watch it.
Oh my god!
I've seen clips. I'm sorry. I also have no connection to Mortal Kombat or the movies. I haven't seen any old Mortal Kombat movie.
You don't have a basic knowledge of who Sub-Zero?
I have a basic knowledge of Mortal Kombat. And
okay.
I've played a little bit of them, but like it's not.
That's all you need to know to appreciate this trailer. Because you're like, oh, there's Jax, there's Sub-Zero. Like it has all of the main people that you've seen in all of the games, and then like a few shots of like smokes in there. A really cool thing that they're doing with this is Scorpion's not dead.
I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about. Was Scorpion dead?
I
don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Like,
has he always been dead?
Under the masks and stuff, he has been like a skeleton guy. And like, you know, his thing comes out of his hand because he's undead. He can do that. But in the trailer, which honestly, like, we see a lot of Scorpion in, he is an older dude, and he is like has a little like knife tied to a rope that he has been flinging around. And yeah, it's cool to see that twist of Scorpion being alive, and we do see the like. You got to have a Sub-Zero Scorpion battle in a Mortal Kombat movie. So of course, we get to see a little bit of that in the trailer. But honestly, it looks really good. Way better than you would expect a Mortal Kombat movie to look.
Oh yeah, they did the freeze the blood into the dagger.
Yeah, blood knife,
icicle.
Yeah,
blood knife.
gotta love it.
So yeah, I was not caring about this at all up till I saw the trailer, and now I'm like, actually, this looks dope. Here is the big news out of the Nintendo Direct we got. We're going to open up with the biggest one. Splatoon 3 is coming.
Biggest one right there.
Yeah, honestly, I believe so, yes. We saw some interesting world-based stuff where apparently the game opens in like a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
I didn't get if that was just for the trailer or not after they showed that, because it was like, oh, they're just kind of showing.
It seems like it's their single player.
I think that's all from the game. That because they show you character creation, and then they walk to a place, and then they get on the bus to the city.
Right.
So I think that's in the game. That's not just
it's implying that there's a okay, like an adventure open world type thing.
But then the city itself looks good, so it's not the entire world isn't messed up. But we also see that the game itself, the typical Splatoon battle, seems to be mixed up in the fact that you are launching into the battlefield instead of just starting at that spawn point.
Sounds like a little game called Rogue Company Game of the Year 2020.
Oh my god, I didn't realize
Along
there
with
were so many
Immortals and Deep Rock Galactic. No, but yeah, they do have that kind of where you fly in kind of like a BR, so that's cool.
It's I'll be interesting to see it. I'm excited.
Is there gonna be a BR mode?
Splatoon 3 BR.
No,
oh my god.
No.
There's gotta be, right?
I mean, there doesn't have to be, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was. Honestly, I imagine it'd be more of a small scale kind of thing. They're not gonna
maybe
be
a 20 player or something.
Yeah, but I can see that. I can see them doing that.
We got a new Zelda coming, or a old Zelda coming.
Yeah, I was about to say, how dare you?
That's more like it. Yeah.
Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword is getting an HD remake for Switch. And let me just say, what is up with Link's lips? Did he always have weird looking lips in that game?
In that game? I mean, who knows? It wasn't HD at the time, so you couldn't fully tell,
Looking at this game now, it's oh, this is really just a ugly duckling of Zelda games. They couldn't reach where they were going with the Breath of the Wild style, but you can see the base of that. And then you could also see they tried to carry some of the Twilight Princess maturity look to it too, and it's just wow, this game does not look great visually.
Yeah,
I know that this is blasphemy, but my first Zelda was The Phantom Hourglass on DS, and then my second was Skyward Sword on the Wii. And I never beat Skyward Sword, but honestly, I remember this is probably because I was a dumbass kid, but I kind of would not mind trying this again, because when I played Skyward Sword, I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun. I really liked kind of the world. It was very charming and magical. And it was kind of fun to go through, but I never beat it because Uncharted 3 came out and I was playing that.
I think the biggest knock against Skyward Sword was the I guess the formula of the Zelda games that has now kind of been experimented with a little more. It was the last one where they went really hard in the formula, and it was before you get to this dungeon, you have to do this quest.
And that's why people really didn't like it, is because there were so many Zeldas in that format, but I hadn't played them. So, and
then also motion control.
Yeah, motion controls
stuff
were not great.
It looks like maybe they've improved that with the Joy-Con. I don't know, and that there's a mode not to do it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, please, have they confirmed whether or not you can play?
Yeah, because you can play on the Switch Lite, so there's a way to just use your right stick for your motion slashes.
Oh,
and
wait.
stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
But they're not bound to buttons. They're you have to do the stick to
you have to
still
use the
you have
stick
to slice in your direction.
That's fair, actually, the way that game works.
It's fully controller, but I got it. It looks so weird. All the character design looks very weird, but if it's on sale, I'm at the very least willing to do a stream of trying to play it motion controlled. I would be curious to see how that plays. Now, I'm curious, do you think the Switch's motion control is better, on a base level, better or worse than the Wii? Because I feel like the Wii, they were fully focused on motion control with the Wii, whereas the Switch, it's capable of doing it, but it's not. We don't have a sensor bar. We don't have.
I think the base level stuff is at least on par, if not a little improved.
Then okay.
Than the Wii.
I think it's gonna depend on the game. Certain games literally needed you to point, and you can't do that. So
right.
Well, you can. I think you can point. It's just not going to be great, because I think The World Ends With You, to play that docked, you have to point. But God, I had so much issues with trying to do that. So, but to be fair, the Wii also had issues at times, but at least they had the sensor bar and stuff.
I feel like Odyssey worked pretty well with some of the movement stuff. Like I played with the two separate and like just kind of got into the habit of doing some of the motions to do moves in Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, aiming, like Splatoon has the aiming and Zelda has like the fine-tune aiming stuff like with the motion, and that seems okay.
Well, if you're looking for another game you can motion with, we have a new Mario Golf coming.
The biggest news by far. No way. Splatoon 3 is bigger than Mario Golf, dog. Mario Golf. Super Rush.
Mario Golf is such a weird game to me because like Mario games kind of like seem like the like simplifiedness of the mechanics. Like if you see him playing like basketball or something, they take like the basketball and strip away to the most base thing. But like Mario Golf is like, you're still out there golfing. Like this almost seems like a full-on golf game.
But it's definitely not like Sim, and it's not even like as hardcore as like Everybody's Golf. Like it is still a more boiled down version of a golf game.
I haven't played too many golf games to know one way or another because that's not a thing that's interested me. But like watching the trailer, I was like, that's a lot of mechanics. I just want like an aim and like power. I want two buttons.
I promise
you'll be able to play with like
that.
It'll be approachable.
Yeah. And I will say, to be fair, I've only played like the Mario Golf on 3DS and then also Everybody's Golf on PS4. But I fucking love both of those games. It's great. Like a good arcade golf game. Let's go. And like the Speed Rush game mode or whatever it's called looks so cool. Where you basically like are running around the field. So you have to like hit it, then run up to your ball and then like hit it again. That looks so great.
Yeah, honestly, that mode looks like the super arcadey, where it's not like, oh, we're all taking turns, we're playing arcade. It's everyone's constantly running to find their ball. You hit it poorly, doesn't matter, just run to it. If you can run fast
like
enough,
power ups and stuff.
Honestly, if I could get like any game that I wanted that was coming out this year, the three most anticipated games I think would be like Gotham Knights is one. We were talking about one a minute ago that I fucking forgot. But then fucking Mario Golf would be another. Like Mario Golf would be in that top 3, dude.
I mean, based on this Nintendo presentation, I think that's my biggest Nintendo one.
Yeah, it's fair.
Or Switch title.
We also found out about the Animal Crossing Mario collaboration. We're getting thwomps, we're getting bricks, we're getting flags.
Love me some thwomps.
Coins. Honestly, a lot of like every obvious Mario thing is in there, but I think for Animal Crossing people, the warp pipe is going to be huge. It allows you to be able to move from one pipe to the other. You jump in, you go down, and it transports you to the other. I see a lot of people using these warp pipes to create like secret areas. They're only accessible by a warp pipe.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's going to be really cool. I'm interested in some stuff. The thwomps look cool. There's some stuff like I don't know about that, but like I said, I think every single person is gonna go, the warp pipe I'm going to use for something, because
why not, right?
Mechanically,
like
that's something. Fall Guys is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and when I saw the trailer for that, I was like, isn't it already? How is it just now coming?
No, Fall Guys was only on PS4 and PC.
Yeah.
But it's coming to Switch now, and also Xbox. They announced that as well.
Oh, they did confirm that?
Yeah.
We got that trailer shortly after, I think. We found out the next DLC fighter for Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles. Anybody played those?
Woo!
Care? No? Okay.
Not gonna lie, I've always wanted to, especially when like Xenoblade Chronicles X, I think, came out to maybe Wii U. And I remember some people who I follow who, like, I agree with their opinions on games, was playing that and was like really into it and said that it was awesome. They're apparently really good games, but I have not played any of them.
I will say, like, I feel like more often than not, the announcement of a Smash Brothers character has made me like interested in checking out the game more than like a character from a game I've played has made me interested in like playing Smash.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it's a me thing or if in general it tends to work that way for your average person if they get interested in the game because the character is in Smash. But a expansion pass is coming to Hyrule Warriors. I need to get back into that game. But it's going to have 2 waves of content, including new moves, new characters, new stages. So if you played Hyrule Warriors and you want some more, get on that. Outer Wilds is coming to Switch, and Famicom Detective Club is coming to North America May 14th, which they are apparently remakes of Famicom disk system games from the 80s. We got a trailer for No More Heroes, which will launch August 27th. A new Monster Hunter Rise trailer. A trailer for Stubbs the Zombie, which is a game.
That's an old game.
Yeah. Neon White, which looked interesting. I'm interested anytime I see the
Annapurna
Interactive logo. I get interested, but this particular one doesn't seem like a game that I'm interested in. But it is a first-person action platformer, developed by the creator of Donut County. I did not know it's by the people of Donut County, and whoa, that is a different style game.
Yeah.
Plans for Zombies Battle for the Neighborhoods coming to Switch. Project Triangle Strategy is coming.
Hell yeah.
Which there's a demo out for that people seem real excited for. I've downloaded the demo. I need to try it, but people seem excited for it. So
it's very clearly the same developers behind Project Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
So both in name and visuals.
Yeah, so that visual style, right? They copyrighted that, I think, after Octopath.
I don't know if they copyrighted, but they called it like HD 2.5.
I swear they like filed a patent or copyright on their visual style.
I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, they did. Warner Brothers patented the Nemesis system.
Well, there's certain things like mechanics, but it'd be like Van Gogh copyrighting expressionism or like,
Yeah.
It's an art style. I don't know. It feels like something that shouldn't be copyrightable.
Yeah. It looks like they copyrighted or trademarked the visual style as HD 2D. So I guess you could do the same style but not call it that.
Okay, so they copyrighted the term. Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, terms or whatever. We got a announcement teaser for Star Wars Hunters, which is a free-to-play online shooter from the makers of Farmville.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
I love me a good Star Wars game, but I turn off the second I see a free-to-play shooter.
Amen. It's been years since Farmville. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Didn't they just shut down Farmville, or like it's going to end soon?
I would love to meet the person playing Farmville right now, if it's still out there.
Probably your grandma.
The trailer that people are upset about, Knockout City, because it showed these like 3 super diverse characters. They showed like an orc that looked like from World of Warcraft, a pixel princess, and and then like the like army dude, and they're all talking like, oh man, and I wanted to try something else, and I want a new life, and then they're like, oh man, I'm gonna go play this dodgeball game, and people were like, they're not even in the game. Like, you showed us these 3 unique characters, or like you got us excited about this, and it's none of this matters for the actual game. It's a dodgeball game, I guess.
Yeah, the trailer, I was like, oh, this is like a weird homegrown Smash Bros or something, right? Like, these are original characters in a Smash game. And then it was like, no, it's these characters playing as characters playing dodgeball.
Yeah. Which doesn't matter at all to the game. Yeah. The World's End Club will be coming May 28th from the creators of Danganronpa and Zero Escape. The first part of the game was previously released on Apple Arcade. Interesting. And a physical edition of Hades is coming, which I'm tempted to get just because it comes with a book, including art of the characters. And there will be a Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, including Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. So that was the Nintendo Direct. What do you guys think?
Thought it was pretty okay at best.
No Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Riot in the streets.
Like, I love that when the guy came out and he was just like, hold on, this isn't about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah. He was like, just so you know, y'all might recognize me, but not about that.
Yeah. I've come to disappoint
Waste
you.
of time.
I guess I was expecting like mention of Metroid Prime 4 or mention of Bayonetta 3, which have both been now since 2017 or so that we've known they've been working on it. And I think both of them have maybe been restarted at this point.
Yeah, Metroid definitely was.
But I was like, maybe some update on those. And yeah, I guess like going into, it's a Zelda anniversary year. So Skyward Sword was there, but I don't know, I was maybe hoping for a different kind of collection or something. Yeah. I guess the game selection wasn't necessarily for me. I feel like if you like a lot of like JRPG stuff, there was a lot of good stuff in there, but not necessarily targeted to me.
Yeah.
Matt.
I'm excited for the Splatoon 3 thing. Everything else, I was like, meh.
Mario motherfucking golf. I'm excited. But that's mainly it.
Teddy, do you want to take us through the last news story of Ready Set Gamecast history?
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. When you phrase it like that, no, but I will. Let's see here. Yeah, so BlizzCon 2021 happened, remote, like everything else has been for the last little bit. I actually have not watched it. I watched some of it. I watched the Overwatch 2 stuff, but I did not watch like the full opening ceremony. I will say I went through this article, though, of like the highlights as to what they showed off. Not a ton, especially in comparison to previous BlizzCons. Like, not a lot. Like, what last year they announced Overwatch 2. Even last year when people were mad, they like announced Overwatch 2. They announced, I think, the phone Diablo, or maybe that was the year before.
I think that was the year before, but they confirmed 4.
Yeah.
Did they confirm Diablo 4 last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think last year was an official confirmation and like trailer for Diablo 4. Whereas this year is literally like Diablo 4 got a trailer and like showed off some of the class, like a new class or something like that. And that's it. They're like, it's coming, but it's not coming this year. And then Diablo 2 Resurrected, which I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe this was at least what Vicarious Visions was rumored to be working on. But it's a Diablo 2 remaster, which I know a lot of people will be super into, since Diablo 2 has like a really high like recognition. Like, people really like that game.
Yeah, that seemed like one of the biggest announcements from the opening, at least.
Yeah. That is actually coming out on PC, console, with versions for Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, and S. Like, everything. There you go. And cross progression between console and PC. That's actually dope. And then, WoW Classic, Burning Crusade. They're just moving through the years.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking thing.
At what point are the people playing World of War Classic just going to be playing World of War?
Yeah, that's what I said when that first announced. I was like, are they just going to keep like doing the previous expansions until eventually like, here's Legion again? Like, I guess at that point it probably is Classic if you take long enough, but it's wild.
Yeah, I guess what is the cutoff point? Like,
do they restart? They go through the original, they go through Burning Crusade, and then they go again. Like, I I don't know.
I guess like I know the Burning Crusade by name as a non-WoW player, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But like, at what point are the expansions or whatever not something I would know as an outsider?
What was after Burning Crusade? Was it Lich King, Wrath of the Lich King? Because I imagine that would be it. Like, you would do, where is it? Expansions, World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm. Then that's it. They would. There's no way Mists of Pandaria would be classic. Like I bet that would be it. But I don't
like Cataclysm isn't even that familiar, but Wrath of the Lich King is, as far as like name recognition goes for me.
Cataclysm, from what I know, is where a lot of people like the next one. Pandaria is when a lot of people stopped. But Cataclysm, I remember a lot of people who did play original WoW like were still playing and having a good time because that was one thing that I always refer to just in like MMO design, because Cataclysm was a thing that literally changed the entire world of WoW. Like it was a thing where like, I don't know, fucking meteor, I don't know the lore, but like the entire world got like destroyed and like certain areas that were there were no longer there or were like changed and like had fucking meteors there and shit. Like that was the first example of something like that happening on a massive scale in an MMO, which is really cool. But yeah, the WoW Classic Burning Crusade that's happening. They showed off a good bit of stuff for Overwatch 2, which looks cool. That
wasn't, not the keynote, but they did like a separate break off for each of the games after the keynote.
And we got to look at a bunch of the characters in Overwatch 2, I think.
I'm excited for that, but like I usually am not on the side of people being like, oh, sequel's just a 1.5. Like I usually hate that, but like it kind of is.
So I'm on the opposite side, right? Like for Destiny, I thought, they just put a giant 2 there. Oh. This is not a different game, right?
Oh, like, well, the problem with Destiny was that it actually was.
Right.
Like,
and
when it
so like
out.
Looking at this one, I'm like, oh, they've actually made these changes. Look at all these updates. Look at this, like these hero like team PvE modes.
Yeah, but that's additions though. You know what I mean? Well, like Destiny literally ripped a ton of shit out. And then just like, here's new planets and stuff like that, and new strikes and new missions. Whereas this is literally just like, here's all your old stuff, and here are additions.
Right. They're like, here's the original game plus new stuff, where Destiny, it was like, oh, this is supposed to be some sort of living world, but we're not going to let you play the original game anymore. We've made all this new stuff, but it plays the same as the first game, right? Was my impression at the time.
Slowly, like, finally repairing. But Overwatch 2 does look really good, and I like all the additions, and I like the PvE stuff. But like literally just watching gameplay, and I've played Overwatch fairly recently, and like watching gameplay, I was literally just like, I don't see how this looks too different. Like, it does look visually better for sure, but like it's not a huge difference. It's very like, this is the same map, but like the lighting's a little different. The lighting's a little better, I would say.
Yeah, it seems like they have a lot more like mood or something.
I feel like with that art style that like you can't change too much without it like not being that art style. Like, you know, how do you make that art style look more graphically, you know?
That's
intense?
true. That's true. It already looks really good, you know, like that's fair. But yeah, they're doing a big update on PvE and a big focus on PvE, which I hope is good. If the PvE stuff in Overwatch 2 is awesome, then that would be amazing. That would be like the biggest like praise to say for that game, honestly.
So yeah, I think Overwatch also like over time has added a lot of stuff from where it was when it launched. So like this almost, a lot of these changes almost feel like maybe they could have, you know, introduced these into the current game over time, but they're choosing for whatever reason. Maybe it's like actual overhauls to, you know, how the game's actually built. Maybe it's like, you know, Activision Blizzard's like, we need money, you know, whatever it may be. They're choosing to do a new title.
Yeah. It did, like, they showed off like some of the sound changes they're doing and stuff like that. That looks really cool. But that is Overwatch 2. Not coming out this year either.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they actually said any of them were. Was the Diablo 2? I don't think there was a date.
I think so. I think Diablo 2 was this year.
Okay. And Burning Crusade is also like the WoW Classic expansion is also this year.
They talked about Hearthstone. I played Hearthstone when it was originally launched and never touched it again.
Legends of Runeterra is my new bay. All right. Get out of here, Hearthstone.
Wow.
And World of Warcraft. Now I'm a Final Fantasy 14 kid, you know what I mean? There's a Shadowlands expansion. There's a new chapter for Shadowlands called Chains of Domination. But like, we're playing Endwalker in the fall.
Teddy, have you played the card game in Final Fantasy 14 yet?
No. Apparently there's like a fucking RTS in the casino place with your minions.
Oh, yeah, I went to the casino, I played the card game. I really want to check out Chocobo Racing. I don't
Me
have
too. I didn't know that existed.
I only have 2 minions so far, so I was like, I'm not even gonna bother going to the minion section yet. But
I went there, but I tried to find it and couldn't. It's a big ass casino, you know.
Didn't you take the tour?
No.
You gotta take the tour, Teddy.
Like, I'll go back and take the tour.
Yeah,
man.
like I walked in and there was just the dude, like the first guy had a little quest marker above him, so I talked to him and he's like, "Hey, welcome. You want to take the tour?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they walked me through to each section and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's BlizzCon.
Well, this brings us to the Patreon producers. Thank you to Erin C. and Dragons Lucas for all of the support throughout the years. We very much appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for helping make the RSG what it is. Well, this brings us to questions and comments.
Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for all of the questions and sorry. Oh. Just getting all emotional up in here.
Oh.
I'm not good at goodbyes.
This is really sweet.
All right, try again. So, yeah. Thanks for all of the questions, comments, and favorite miscellaneous items throughout all the episodes. Now it's time to read the last ones.
Damn.
There are so many. The first question is, or the first submission is from Erin. And she said, one of my favorite memories is when you guys plus Bunny had your Game of the Year 2017 episode. There was so much discussion and back and forth between you all. It was very insightful and informative. Plus, it was the first episode I saw you guys record live on Twitch, so it holds a special place in my heart. I also just really like everyone's sense of humor. You're a bunch of fun folks to listen to.
Aw.
Thank you, Erin.
Really sweet. That was the first episode she watched live on Twitch? That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was like the, beginning of our second year, or was that half? No, we started in August, so that'd be like 6 months in or something like that.
Huh. When did Erin join? When did Erin start editing the?
After like the second year.
Holy shit! That's crazy. I just remember her being like the whole time, but she wasn't. That's crazy.
No, I remember when Erin first showed up. Because I was definitely streaming on Twitch when I got into a voice chat with Bryce. And he didn't know I was streaming, and we started talking about something a little personal.
Yes.
And then we found out Erin was in my in my Twitch chat, just chilling, overhearing something she apparently needed to hear because it jump started their relationship. Actually,
there you go. Huh? Look at
Yep.
Yeah. The next submission is from Annie Mouse, and they've asked, what shows have y'all been watching lately? I've been watching the shit out of WandaVision.
Oh yeah, WandaVision for sure.
every week.
But seriously, since we're talking about it, fucking people on Twitter need to knock it the fuck off with posting like screenshots.
Like Thursday night.
Or yeah, Thursday night, Friday morning. It's like, I don't care if it's because you're posting it as a meme or anything. Just don't post things from the show till I will give you a week. If you can last a week, like ideally, don't post it till the show's over. Like give people a break, but at least give them a week. But I like Friday morning, I will see people post screenshots like with a meme of like when so and so talks bad about you and stuff. It's like I don't want to see this like a moment from WandaVision on Twitter. Let me experience like now. I'm like, oh, now this is what they're gonna look like in this episode, because like every episode is different. Literally, the way Wanda is dressing says a lot about the show.
Yeah. WandaVision every Friday, but it's weird. It's like I am watching that, but it's like I don't count it because it's just like, once every Friday I watch it. And then like Sunday, once every Sunday, Attack on Titan, final season of Attack on Titan is fucking awesome and extremely underrated. It's so goddamn good. But other than those two, which is like the only things that I'm watching that are like coming out, Hell's Kitchen. I'm just binging old Hell's Kitchen seasons. It's great. And then I am trying slowly, but I'm going through The Expanse on Amazon, which is very good so far. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
I watched the first episode, but I didn't get very far. Seemed a little too like sciencey for me. It felt slow.
It definitely starts off slow. That's the thing. Season 1 is slow, but from what I hear, like the last season is like incredible.
I've heard people compare it to Battlestar, at least the more recent Battlestar from like 2004. More recent, the 15-year-old show.
Yeah, it's very. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a lot of like sci-fi that I honestly should see. But it's like it's one of those shows where season 1 was as it's going. There are moments where there was one moment where I was like, this is based on a fucking book, isn't it? And then like the next intro I watched and it's like based on the novels and I'm like, yep. Like it is very clear that there is a laid out story for this and they are going somewhere with it. And like lots of cool, like intertwining threads. It's really, it's very Game of Thrones in that kind of way.
I watch Schitt's Creek at dinner. That's what I've mostly been working my way through one episode at a time.
I actually finished that like a month or two ago. That
I'm at great. I think I have like 3 or 4 episodes left at this point.
Oh wow! Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely wrapping up. Like it's got that going on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's a sweet show. Like it's funny, but it's not like overly like we need to go for the gag. It's more like kind of cheesy and cute. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It's got like a 90s sitcom feeling to the way like the story goes, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
I'm finally rewatching Game of Thrones, which I never thought I would do. Because I was personally affected by the last 2 seasons. It did a number on me, but we're going through again.
I have me and Erin started watching House because I've seen the entire show, but I wanted to show it to her, but she can be a little iffy about health stuff, so she can only watch like an episode once in a while. So like as a palate cleanser, we've been watching Community as well. Like something a little bit more serious, something very light.
I watched Community back, I guess like a year. I started it like a year ago now, and that was really good to watch through because it was like I didn't realize how many Community references I've been missing over the years. There are a lot out there.
Yeah, but there's also both of those shows were like I don't know, early 2000, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some stuff that is like, that would not play if it was Erin right now. There's some stuff that is like, oh god, that's uncomfortable. But they're both like very good if you can look past some sketchy. I mean, obviously Pierce Hawthorne is designed to say some shitty stuff. Like he is literally, but it's like, oh, like even stuff that Jeff Winger says, it's like, that's not okay, my dude.
Yikes.
But I mean, things were a little bit different then,
I'm definitely also seeing that on like old Hell's Kitchen episodes.
Yeah.
Like somebody like made a joke that was extremely homophobic, and I was like, "Whoa, yikes! This is not this is like early 2000s, Jesus."
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think.
Yeah, which like I try and go like this is a sign of like how much things have changed in just like our time.
It's honestly like it's you can look at it as encouraging. It's a good thing. Things have changed like that.
But and then they've been releasing old episodes of Taskmaster to YouTube, and that show is so good. If you don't know, Taskmaster is basically it's a British TV show where they will have like 5 comedians or notable people. Like for the most part it's comedians, but sometimes they've had like rappers on. One season they had like a newscaster, and they assign, everybody has to do tasks that it's like, move this rice from this bowl to this bowl, but you can't use any tools, or you can't touch it, or like do the craziest thing you can do with your pinky finger. And then they'll have their task, and then they'll have a time limit, and then at the end, like all of the tasks have been done before the like show is kind of recording. Well, obviously they recorded those tasks at the time, but then they're all up on a stage, and the taskmaster, Greg Davies, is watching the footage and like giving them points based on watching how they did and stuff, and then each episode they'll have a live task that they're doing at that time. So it's all like very funny. The tasks are really great. Like it's a thing of like, oh, this is really cool to see them try, but then also in your head you're like, okay, how would I do this? Like that's an interesting task. Like, okay, what would I try and do to achieve this task and stuff? And it's really great. Like they have like the first 7 seasons up on YouTube. It's really cool to check out, and all of them are very funny, very cool to watch. Yeah, I think that's about it. Once we got the 4K HDR TV, I was going through Netflix of like, okay, what supports this? Like, because they'll show up at the top, like, instead of HD, it'll say like 4K HDR. So I was just like looking through what on Netflix supported, and Cobra Kai is 4K HDR. So I watched the first episode of that, and I will say it is very interesting how just like 10 minutes in, I was hating the hero of the Karate Kid. They managed to like just like, they made him a used car salesman, or maybe just a car salesman, but they made you just go like, yeah, actually fuck this guy. they made you root for the bad guy of the movies.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna check out more of that. So that's what I've been watching lately.
All right. The next question is from Podcast. What's your favorite memory from being on RSG?
PAX. Easily.
I agree.
Definitely PAX.
Yeah, PAX is pretty cool. I mean, I there's a lot of cool intros that we've had like some cool discussions for. I liked when I randomly was like, hey, we're playing D&D now.
You should do a supercut video of the intros.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That'd be so many. Like, that would be a lengthy video.
That would
if
be
you
great.
jumped into the most interesting ones and stuff, that would be a cool video that I would not make. But if Erin was feeling adventurous, I haven't like since Erin took over, I have not edited in so long that I'm like, do I even remember how?
Yeah.
But I mean, she is so much better than me. But yeah, the every aspect of the show has improved since she has taken over as video editor. And obviously, like, we're doing Dungeons and Gamers now, and like there's stuff that she has done there that's like, that is dope as hell, that I don't even know how to do that. I can do basic stuff. I can cut and stuff. And I will say that, like, Erin is for the most part doing the audio editing the way that I showed her. She is like doing one more thing and stuff, but for the most part, like, I taught her how to do that. But in terms of like the video editing portion, she's bars ahead of me. But yeah, PAX and some of our cool intros where we just kind of had fun discussions.
I feel like I always struggle with questions like this. But mine's not like related. Mine's like indirectly related. I don't know if Bryce remembers this, but like at one point before I was on the show, he had asked me to guest, and like I had already guested before, but it was just like, hey, can you come on the show? And I told him no like 3 times, but I said like, but don't stop asking, because I was just like in a place where I wasn't like ready or, you know, whatever it was, able to come on. And so I was just like, no, but like, don't stop asking, because like one of these times I'm going to say yes. So I'm glad.
Don't erase my name from the list.
Right. Yeah. Don't like it. I know this is like the 3rd time in like 2 months that I've said no, but like, please, yeah, think about me again. And so I'm glad he did, because then I got to be on the show with you guys. So
I can't remember if there were 1 or 2 of them, but I know that there was one episode that me and Matt had to do like alone, and that was fun. That was a good. That was
one of I think the last time before this one that you were on was just me and Teddy.
Was it? Was it the like? Oh, shit. Oh yeah.
Because I slept in.
I remember that.
I was like, hey, let's record bright and early.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I wanna just like pat us on the back that like we have never missed a episode. We have never gone a week without dropping an episode. It was going like when we said we would have an episode out.
Yeah.
And there have been times where it's like you guys were like, oh, can't, you know, we're both busy, and I'm just like messaging people on Twitter, be like, you want to come on? I need somebody, come on. but every time that we said the podcast would be there, it was there.
All right. Next question is from Eroded Pangus. You all had a really great podcast, and I hope you all continue to make amazing content across the net. Best of luck in all of your future endeavors. What's something that you're glad happened because of this podcast?
I'm stealing it before any of you else can say it. I met all of you.
Aw,
very nice people.
Son of a... I'm taking Teddy off of my I met all of you then. I stole that answer.
Oh, damn. Met everyone except Teddy.
I already knew all of you, or else I couldn't invite you to be part of the podcast. So.
That's fair. I mean, I think I technically knew Bryce and maybe Matt before the podcast. The timing might not have. I mean, I don't
know the timeline at this point.
I didn't meet Matt because of the podcast, all things considered. But I don't
got
think
to know. I would say
sure.
Like we've had much more discussions and stuff as part of this, because like I knew you guys all as streamers or stuff, so I knew you through that. But like, you know, before the podcast, after the podcast, or you know, during the podcast, we've talked about life and what's going on and stuff that we would not have if I would not know these things about you if I only saw you stream.
The friends we made along the way.
Aw.
The real treasure.
I don't know. I'm a fan of this Dungeons and Gamers thing we got going on.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else comes out of that, because that has been a wild ride.
Hey.
Cool. Gentleman Clamper said, when is Teddy getting an OnlyFans? He has to support his current Final Fantasy 14 addiction somehow.
I'm not, but like, I appreciate the interest.
Teddy, everybody else here has an OnlyFans.
To say everyone? Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, two of us do.
Matt and Bryce were out there.
I remember pitching Teddy an idea for an an Undertale themed OnlyFans called Only Sans, and you just make fan art of Sans and post that.
Yep, I do. Yep. I would if I was not, if I had any sort of artistic talent. But no, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I appreciate the interest, but never. That's my answer.
Wow.
Rip.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint the one person.
Yeah, right. OnlyFans is so fun.
Like, what would you do if you ended up like starting OnlyFans as a joke? Just post like one like shirtless picture, and suddenly you had like 100 subscribers. Like you got like way more than you like started as a joke.
I'd probably keep doing it, but like that would not happen.
All right. The next question, Garfield says, you have 2 lasagnas baking in the oven, each in their own pans. They bake and you remove them from the oven and then remove them from their respective pans. Now, if you place one of the lasagnas on top of the other, do you have 2 lasagnas stacked on each other, or do you have one taller lasagna? I hate Mondays.
It's one lasagna. I'll be right back.
It is one lasagna.
It's one lasagna. I'll be right
Are we unanimous in it's one? Bryce. He's gonna say 2.
It's 2. I'm gonna say it's 2.
It's 1.
It's 2.
It's one tall lasagna.
When you're making a cake, you bake 2. If you bake 2 separate cakes and then you stack them and then you frost it, that's one cake.
But the frosting conjoins it. Like if you have stack up.
And the cheese and the meat sauce don't conjoin it.
If they slime together, yes, I will give you that. But if you take a bunch of bricks and stack them, you have a stack of bricks. But if you put the little paste together, you're building a building. At what point do a stack of bricks become a building? Once you put the paste, you put some slime, put some paste.
It's way more in depth than that. Hold on, it's just a stack of bricks. If I'm just gonna put brick, paste, right? That's a stack of bricks. There's no other purpose for that. It becomes a wall if you change the pattern. Lasagna, you're not changing the pattern. You put more of the same on top. It's one tall lasagna.
Maybe it's just a very small wall.
If I take these 4 bricks and I stack them on top of each other, but I put glue in between, it's still just a stack of bricks.
Because you can't take them apart without changing what it is, without destroying it. But I could stick a thing and just peel off the other lasagna, and it's 2 lasagnas because it was always 2 lasagnas.
What do you get at McDonald's? Do you get like the McDouble?
Yeah, McDouble plain. Yeah.
So that's a burger with 2 patties?
Yes, I would argue that
that's one burger?
Well, so you...
What if you got it gluten-free?
I like this argument.
I mean, if you can't like make that a single burger from the parts. You would need more buns.
It is a single burger.
Well, no, so there's 2 patties with one set of buns. My argument is that with these 2 lasagnas, if stacked together, you can easily make it 2 lasagnas on a separate thing. But with the
I can make it 2 separate burgers if I eat it without a bun.
Yeah, if you take 2 patties, then it's 2 patties.
So if you got a gluten-free McDouble, let's say, so a bunless McDouble,
then I would say that that's 2 patties, because once you remove the bun, it's a separate thing. Because you need the containing element.
Wow, that's kind of judgmental against people with gluten sensitivity.
The patties.
You're not eating a burger. This is just 2 patties.
The patties are the bun.
I work at a burger restaurant, actually, Bryce. I will fight you for this.
The patties.
You're not about to marginalize a large amount of my customer base.
They don't want to be able to say I ate a McDouble. They just want the food.
But how do they order it? Do they say a McDouble, no bun?
I'm sure, but they probably order it that way because they want the ingredients.
Absolutely. So it's still a burger.
I just want to point out that the chat agrees with me.
Are you saying it's 2 lasagnas?
Not Erin.
I'm saying it's 2 lasagnas.
Bryce is saying 2.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm saying if you can separate it easily, it's 2 things.
Wrong.
Also, I just want to update. My Postmates deliverer put it at the wrong house or something. It said to meet the person at the door. Went outside. They were not there. I texted them multiple times. And then they just said, delivery complete, and walked away. So I have been issued credit, and I guess I'm just going to place it again.
Wow.
Although I am very hungry. I might just fucking drive somewhere right after this
sucks.
because I'm starving.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's stupid.
But I wanted the thing.
Postmates, you called out on the popular
Getting called out, dude.
video game podcast, Ready Set Gamecast.
All right, the next question
But it's one
is...
lasagna.
Let's stop arguing about the giant tall lasagna, not 2 lasagnas.
singular
and Marvin,
lasagna.
The singular lasagna.
Marvin asks, if you had the opportunity to have the first podcast in Mars, would you do it? You don't have to move to Mars, but this podcast would be a Mars exclusive. No Earthlings could listen to it.
I'm down.
Yeah, 100%.
Same.
I would
Absolutely.
make Mars history. Like when they are writing the story of Mars, I will be the first line.
Mm-hmm.
No, you won't.
Welcome to Marscast.
I will. It'll be like, oh man, I'm bored on Mars. What am I going to like listen to? The Mars podcast. It's all we have.
It's it.
Yeah.
There's no other forms of entertainment, just this podcast.
It's the only podcast they can have
Just
on
to
the Mars
ensure we
shuttle.
make it in the history books.
Yep.
I've destroyed all other methods of entertainment.
I don't know what the podcast would be about, but I would 100% do a podcast that is like the podcast that people on Mars would listen to, and only on Mars. Because like
the thing that really gets to me is that like you don't have to go to Mars to make this Mars exclusive podcast. Like that's kind of elitist, don't you think? Like, wow, what a colonizer's perspective. You don't even live here.
Shit.
But you're gonna tell us what life on Mars is. It's just okay.
This isn't even representative of us.
If you're gonna do a podcast that is only gonna be listenable by people on Mars, what are you gonna make it about?
Earth.
I mean, probably like the fact that we're airing a podcast on Mars. It's
like it could be like a podcast about like how did this podcast get made? How did they agree to allow this to be a thing? It's like the McElroy brothers will be in Trolls 2 podcast where it's like
I love that.
It's a podcast about how this thing happened.
The next question is from Marcus, and they said, it turns out that the lead designer for Hogwarts Legacy is a super far-right YouTuber who has dozens of videos with thousands of views about awful topics. Add that to J.K. Rowling, and my question is, why would someone support the game knowing awful people will directly benefit from this game? As a bi-minority, this game supports people who hate me, with a frowny face. I used to love Harry Potter, but I can't feel love for it anymore, considering the people who create it only hurt me.
That is fair enough. The answer is they should not support it, which is like sad in a way for like the fact. The saddest part of it is the fact that these people are awful. But like the other thing is that, Harry Potter itself is not a work that degrades minorities or like bi people or trans people or anything like that, right? Like, it's not, the Harry Potter work itself is not that, and I'm sure that the Harry Potter work itself has brought joy to those people, right? So like, it's fucked up that the people who benefit from it are spewing that kind of hate.
Yeah. And it's a deal of supporting these people monetarily. Like, the companies aren't going to change unless you hurt them in the pocketbook. Like, people are, when they share the information about this guy, they're like, how did this guy get hired? There wasn't a vetting process that realized that, like, hey, this guy has YouTube videos saying these awful things. Why was he brought on as a game lead designer? And it's if because they don't need to. If they can make money without caring, they're going to. So if people don't give them money, they're going to go, okay, we need to, be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because like I was super vocal a few episodes ago, right, about this, and like I don't know if I don't buy the game still. Like, honestly, this sucks that like this has ruined Harry Potter for you, Marcus, and that really sucks, right? Like, that is something that you loved that was then tainted by first J.K. Rowling and then, the news that the designer or lead designer on the game publicly holds those views. And like I guess I don't like that guy's gonna get paid, right? Like that guy's already getting paid, right? You're not taking money out of his pocket by I still think, like, J.K. Rowling's already made her deal, made her money. And like, yes, Harry Potter existing or being popular still will make her, more money over time. But
it's more of a political, like, this kind of ties into a weird political discussion of like, the change that you want to do is great and will help, but like, it's not really going to affect a ton unless it's systemic. You know what I mean? Right.
And like part of like the question about like how did he get hired or something like that, it's like, I mean, it's not illegal to have shitty views, right? It's not illegal to be a shitty person. It's illegal to do crime as a, like, if you act on being a shitty person, right? Like,
I mean, but this company isn't the government. They can, they're not going to arrest this guy for having shitty opinions, but they don't have to have him as an employee. They can say,
right. But if he's not like bringing that to the workplace, and like now it's a liability, right? Now that this has been out into the public, right? It's like, hey, this guy is maybe a key figure on this game, and he's got this YouTube channel where he's posting, his personal views.
Also, just want to precede all of this with, I have not looked into this. I do not know that this person exists. You know what I mean?
I saw a tweet about this a little bit ago, but
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I haven't looked into, like, I'm sure this will be a thing that we see in the next couple of days. I don't know, just like it's really upsetting because like I can't necessarily empathize in the same way, and like I can't feel what you're feeling about this, right? Like I'm just not able to, right? And I think it sucks so much that like the thing you liked or do like is basically being hijacked and ruined, right, by these forces beyond your control, right? It's like that. I don't know. That's what I would hope like wouldn't be the case, and like that. I don't know. That's
a
upsetting.
Complicated thing.
That sucks.
Yeah. It comes back to the thing of like when obviously J.K. Rowling is a problem. She is anti-trans. She has some very bad opinions, and then the conversation would go, well, if I don't buy this game, it's going to hurt the devs. And then, this kind of takes that argument and goes, well, it turns out some of the devs also suck. So it's not as simple of going, well, it just doesn't matter about J.K. Rowling, because, there's other people involved that also suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the for context, this kind of came out from a news story, well, not a news story, from a tweet from the user Doctor_Cupcakes, who shared a screenshot of the Troy Leavitt's YouTube channel with a bunch of videos about like the myth of male gaze in video games and like
yikes. That's
and there's a video called "It's Okay to Be a Gamer," and I'm like, that's gonna say some bad stuff. Anytime you're saying something like that, it's
what is that? What is even? Oh God.
A lot of the videos shown in the screenshots seem to be responses to people kind of calling out problems and him, turning around and going, "No, it's fine." But the thing that worries me is also the deal of like how many views this guy had. Like each of these videos have. They are like female game developer fired for sexist tweet has 48,000 views. Also,
no, I mean, brother,
can we agree
47,000 people voted for Trump, or 47 million people voted for Trump? It's half of America. It's like almost half. It's
74.
Can we agree that anytime someone refers to a human being as a female, they can get fucked?
Yeah, no, I hate that. This is not good.
Like, if you were referring to a human being as a female, you have some gross opinions. It's just the easy red flag. Also, he was against net neutrality, which is like, wow, like that's not even sexist. It's just a bad opinion. Anyway.
Are we moving on?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one is from Eric. If you four were stuck in the wilderness, who would get eaten first?
Is this like we're eating each other?
Yeah, that's the...
Oh, maybe. Well...
Or just like eaten by a bear,
Yeah, see, if it's eaten by a bear, I would say possibly me, because I would be overconfident and be like, I'll get us food, and then end up like getting eaten by a bear. If it's eating each other, I would probably be last.
That's fair.
The person in chat who is presumably the question asker is saying yes, both. So I guess they want an answer to which of the bear, and I'm guessing probably me. As for the each other, I think probably last.
I think I'd probably go first for eating people.
Why do you say that?
I don't think I'm eating people. So
I wouldn't eat people.
So I guess
Ever?
one of
You don't know. You don't know.
is probably getting eaten.
You'd rather die?
You'd rather
die. Absolutely.
Damn.
Right now, yes.
What if you didn't know it was a person?
Oh yeah, that classic.
Oh, like Bryce is like, I made single burger.
Snap. Oh my god.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. Like, just eat the burger.
Have you heard that like riddle about God? It's the bird that's supposed to be bad luck.
Raven?
No,
Raven,
it's like
crow?
the bird with boats.
The bird with boats.
I can't remember, but basically, there's a riddle where like it goes, this guy. I'm just gonna change it to stork because I can't remember the name of the actual bird. This guy goes into a diner, asks for some stork soup. He takes one bite of it, goes outside and kills himself. Why'd he do it? And the way it's supposed to work is that like people are able to ask yes or no questions to the person to determine the thing, and the way the story is that like the guy was stuck on an island with him and his wife and another person, and his wife died, and like later the other guy on the island with him, it was like, oh, I found this soup from like I found a stork. Oh, and I was able to make this soup. So you should eat this so we can stay alive. And he eats the soup, and then like later they get rescued, make it back to land, and like he like wanted to believe like, oh yeah, this guy found a stork. It's chill. So, but he like wasn't sure. So when he got to land, he goes to a restaurant. He orders some actual stork soup. Realizes it doesn't taste like the stuff he had on the island. It realizes it was his wife he ate, and then he kills himself.
Oof.
So,
Oof.
Oh,
Yikes. That's rough.
Cool, that got dark fast.
yeah.
That's a rough riddle. What a fun
quite
little
the riddle.
The question about which of us would eat each other first wasn't a dark question.
Wait, hold on. So, who do you guys think you would be eaten first out of all of us, if not me?
Wait, which Eaton is this?
We're eating each other. You have to eat a person. Which one of us is getting eaten first? You have to answer the question.
I'm
refuse
not
to
eating a
eat a
person.
person.
You gotta answer
No.
the question. It's you can't just be like, oh, here's this hypothetical. No,
I'm gonna sacrifice
I don't think I'm
myself.
eating a person.
I could
Oh
see
my
I could
God.
see Teddy like sacrifice himself first.
Sure. Yeah,
I could see that.
There's no need to eat a person. In the wilderness, there's plenty of food. Come on.
Your desert island.
Yeah, we're on a desert island. You know. I just want y'all to say you're gonna eat somebody.
You're never gonna get that from me.
Damn.
I firmly believe that I would quicker kill myself than kill one of my friends and eat
I
them.
thought you were gonna be like, I firmly believe against cannibalism. It's wrong. Just no cannibalism here today. Ever.
Man, I'm gonna eat good on this island. They're gonna pick.
Yeah, you are.
They're gonna pick me up and they'll be like, "How'd you get fatter? You were gone for like a month."
But also, what happened to the other three?
They landed in the water. I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Lot of storks
Don't
here.
ask too many questions.
So many storks on this island.
You want some? I got some extra soup.
Oh, Jesus. The last question is from Erect Chocobo. And
Jesus.
they ask, now that the
Is that allowed?
podcast is... Yeah, that's aggressive. Now that the podcast is over, is the age of gamers finally over?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. we
No,
brought it
what
on
the
you.
fuck?
The age of gamers
Welcome
is
to the
over.
new age.
No more video games.
Dungeons
They're
and
canceled.
Gamers is still a thing. What the fuck?
That's tabletop. That's
tabletop.
different.
We're canceling video games here
With
today.
gamers, no, fuck y'all. No. Games can't be over until I can kiss swords, okay?
That's
Is that not out yet?
no.
No, it's not.
I watched the vlog from PAX West the other day, and there was a clip of Darian playing Boyfriend Dungeon. It's like, yeah, that's gonna come out eventually.
It's been
Jesus.
a year and a half since that.
Their website still says available 2020 for Nintendo Switch.
Wow. Oh my
Yikes.
gosh. That's
Oh no. Whatever. At least I'll always have this cool shirt, even if the game never comes out.
Planned release date when weapons are beautiful enough. That's what it says on Steam.
Victoria Tran,
good.
their community management person's over with Among Us now.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, we interviewed her. That's cool.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to I'll get to talk to her about Among Us stuff at some point. I don't know if Among Us would go to cons. Like they're out there.
No, they're just out there making
I saw a
millions of
kid
dollars.
wearing
It's
an
okay.
Among Us hoodie walking down the street not that long ago. It was like the age kid you'd see wearing like Minecraft stuff, right?
Yeah,
He was
like a
wearing an Among
9-year-old.
Us. Yeah.
Usually those are the Fortnite kids.
Didn't that just come to Switch too?
I don't.
Among Us?
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime last month, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah. My brother tried to convince me, my 8-year-old brother tried to convince me to buy it. And I was like, no, we're playing Mario Party.
Shh.
Sit your ass down.
Wow.
We're playing
Nobody
a
plays
real
Mario Party with
game.
me.
Well, this brings us to housekeeping. I know the show's over, but you should still rate and review it. Just say like, this was my favorite podcast. It's out there. I'm not taking down the feed. I want to make that clear. Like the feed's still gonna be up there. It's gonna be there. People gonna listen
All
to
of the old news.
Yeah. Be like, I wonder what happened in 2019. I'm gonna listen to that episode.
I'm telling you, every year, like January, like the first Friday of every January, we come here, we do like a 4-hour. Here was the last year. Wasn't that wild?
I would love that.
I'm down.
I think that'd actually be fun.
I mean, I say it'd make more sense to do a game of the year once a year, but
But I mean,
that can be part of it.
Yeah.
Because the Game Awards is in December, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally.
So by January, that will have already been covered, and we can absolutely talk about that.
Yeah.
But we could make our
Listen, Bryce, this podcast is happening with or without you, okay?
yeah.
Once a year.
Bryce said it's over, guys.
Game Corpus. Hey, I'm trying to say that we should do a yearly game of the year. You guys are saying
Bryce
let's talk about news.
pulled the plug, and we were like, no, put it back! Put it back! And we put it in really quick, and now the computer's really confused.
Game Corp is also ending. Ready Set Gamecast. Guys, I hate to break it to you. Ready Set Gamecast is ending, and I also just shoved my face into the mic.
Like a bird.
By the time this is out, the Dungeons and Gamers episode 8 will be out, in which Darian and Matt play poker.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. We gamble a
For like
lot.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
2 or 3 episodes. Yep. There's some real cool music and sound effects. I listened to some of it yesterday, and there's some cool shit in there.
Yeah.
You should check out Dungeons Gamers on Twitter for updates on that. And that is all of the housekeeping. One last time, where can people find you? Teddy.
Holy shit. Twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. Chinaris. Same thing on Twitter and on Instagram. And YouTube as well. Same thing. I actually do a weekly podcast called Tyson and Teddy Talk. It's every Monday. You can find that on the YouTube channel Tyson and Teddy Talk, and it's also on audio feeds as well. And yeah, Tyson and Teddy Talk, it's a very chill. We literally just get together on Saturdays. Usually, this time we're doing it on Sunday. So actually, this time it might be a day late. We're probably going to post on Tuesday. But we just like sit down and talk for like an hour about the video games we played and the movies and TV shows and just kind of catch up. It's a very chill, like have some coffee, hang out. It's fun. And I stream pretty regularly. Who knows how much longer I'll be doing that at this point, but I'm playing that Final Fantasy 14 out there, man. Get in it. That's where.
Matt?
Twitter and Twitch. Matt, MATTNCHZ, Matt and Cheese. And I'll probably stream someday. I'll just keep saying that forever until I do. And then maybe Darian can tell you in the future what we have thought of.
Darian.
Yes. I can do that. Twitter, Twitch, mostly. A Witchy Fairy, AWITCHYFAERIE. That's me.
You can find me at Twitter at Last Geek, YouTube Last Geek, Twitch.tv/Last Geek Plays, and Instagram Last Geek Plays. Thank you for listening to Ready Set Gamecast for the last 4.5 years. We appreciate you. We appreciate making this show, and thank you for helping us grow and become more powerful.
We're out there. We did it, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Well.